Hey guys, it's Daniel, licensed therapist. Whilst perusing YouTube, I came across a Dr. Phil clip titled Spoiled Beverly Hills Brat. Naturally, I was fascinated, and boy, that title was not just clickbait. Yes, indeed, she was a spoiled brat. But Daniel, you're the pro here. What causes a spoiled brat? Well, a whole lot of money is a start, but not all people with a lot of money are spoiled. And so if we do a little psychological digging, we can put together a puzzle which gives us a clear picture of what's going on. And with a few educated guesses, we can figure out what caused all of this. And we can also take a look at Dr. Phil's analysis. Will I agree with Dr. Phil? Let's find out.
My mom raised me with everything I've ever wanted, and she needs to continue. It's the only life I've ever known.
Nicolette has always had the best of anything and everything.
I went to amazing schools. I had a driver, I had a nanny, personal trainers.
At a very young age, Nicolette had her own credit cards with absolutely no credit limit. Some months her credit card bills would be $10,000. I just paid the bill. Nicolette had an allowance of $5,000 a month to cover her expenses.
Okay, so this sounds pretty excessive at this point, but let's keep our analysis hat on here. I want to point out a couple numbers. Mom said that she had a credit card with no limit and that some months the bill was $10,000 and that her monthly allowance was $5,000. So let's remember those numbers because those will be our baseline of what this girl is accustomed to. Let's roll the next clip.
You wrote into me. Tell me what you wanted me to get straight with your mom.
I want my mom to understand that I can't live off of $1,000 a month, and I grew up on a certain lifestyle. She can't just take that away from me immediately. If someone took her lifestyle away from her, she wouldn't like that. And I grew up on it. It's all I ever know. I can't deal with this.
Okay, I'm going to ask you guys to do something for me. Let's look at Nicolette in the context of her life. If we do that, what she is saying is true. She was raised a certain way, and she's not accustomed to or even prepared for the changes that her mother is all of a sudden forcing on her. From her point of view, it isn't fair. So bear with me, guys.
And so I came to you for help.
Okay, so you want me to get her to do what? What would be the home run for you?
I need her to understand that I need at least $2,500 a month. She works all the time. She doesn't do anything for me. She doesn't drive me anywhere. And so other people would have their moms drive them places, buy them food, make them food, but I have to do everything myself. And I need the funds for that.
So she's asking for $2,500 a month. Remember her old allowance? It's $5,000 a month. And sometimes it went up to $10,000 a month. So she's asking for half to a quarter of what she's used to getting. It's still relatively a lot of money to some people, but for her, relatively, it's actually a very huge decrease. She's actually playing ball here. She's willing to take a lot less. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't sound like a spoiled brat to me. Could it be possible that she's actually not a spoiled brat? Okay, I wouldn't go that far, but something is amiss. Let's dig a little more.
So do you do that? When you have the money, are you in there in the kitchen frying up stuff and mixing up batter?
No, I'm buying food.
So you eat out a lot?
Yeah. I make food at home, but then I get bored of I don't like cooking because it just makes a huge mess, and then my mom gets mad at me, and I don't like cleaning up the huge mess and doing the dishes, and then I just don't like eating at home because it's the same boring food.
You say she's not there for you. How do you get to school every day?
I do online school. I don't go to school.
You don't go to school?
I don't.
Man, I gotta say, Dr. Phil, she's really talking down to this girl here. He's laughing at her and condescendingly asking if she's cooking. I would bet he's playing it up for the crowd for some good TV, but still, it seems like he's being kind of mean.
don't go to like public school for other reasons.
Why not?
Like I just got traumatized. I can't get into that right now, but
You got traumatized.
yes.
Part of it is she couldn't keep up with the lifestyle of the other
No,
kids
that's
in Beverly Hills.
There's other reasons. I'm not just like being a brat about that.
But you don't go to school, do you? So you
I do online school.
Yeah. How's she doing?
She's doing okay. I had to push her a little bit to get some of those grades up, but when she wants to focus on something, she's doing good.
Yeah, and I like it because I can like actually focus on it because I also was behind like in public school. I was really behind because it would go so fast, and so now I can actually take my time. So that's nice. And I don't have the pressure that I had at school and everything.
Okay, we are starting to get a clearer picture here. She was unable to succeed in a school setting. She said that things moved too fast and that there was pressure. I highly doubt she's alluding to a learning disorder or something like that, because schools have IEPs that account for and accommodate for that. So she basically just ran away from school, which is a huge indicator that she's fragile internally. She's not able to persevere. Let's continue.
Yeah. So you want a G-Wagon for your 16th birthday?
I need my G-Wagon. There's no question. I need it.
There's no question.
Yeah.
You need that.
Yeah. My mom's buying a Bentley for herself. Why can't I get a G-Wagon?
Why do you need a G-Wagon?
I really want the G-Wagon.
Well, I understand you want it, but why do you said I need the G-Wagon. Why do you need a
I
G-Wagon?
really like the way it looks. I've wanted one for over 2 years now. Every time I see them, you see so many of them near my house, and every time I see one, I'm in awe. I love them. The interior is so nice, and there's no blind spots at all. Like, it's so big and open. There's so much trunk space. It's amazing. And they look so nice inside. When you're inside, when you see the interior, the exterior doesn't even matter at all. It's just amazing. And I really want a nice car. She wants to give me a Mercedes C-Class. I will accept that car.
I started with a Honda or a Toyota, and then it barely gets.
I will be happy with that car, but the thing is, I want my G-Wagon. I want my G-Wagon!
Really? A C-Class?
But we started with a Honda, a Toyota. I started with a Toyota.
Absolutely not. I will not be driving anything that can be considered an Uber X.
So Dr. Phil here keeps asking, why do you need a G-Wagon? And I feel like he's fishing for a reason about why a nice car would complete her. And I have the intuition, and I think Dr. Phil shares the same intuition, that Nicolette here is compensating and using the good feeling or the recognition of a nice car to make her feel better. He wasn't able to get her to say it, but I think he's onto her. She's being very unreasonable, and she says she doesn't want a Mercedes or a Honda. To me, her level of extreme reaction is directly proportional to how crappy she feels inside. She is not simply being a brat. She is fighting for something that she thinks is going to make her feel better. It's kind of like a druggie begging for a hit. So in a sense, it's pretty sad that she feels that way. And once again, Dr. Phil is being sassy, playing it up for the cameras. But let's get into his analysis and see if we agree with him here.
I want to say some things to you about your daughter. What I'm concerned about is her self-image. And self-image is the perception or mental picture that you have, your appearance, abilities, and personal worth. And I think when someone feels like they have to have all of these things in order to feel like they're presentable, to feel like they're worthy, to feel like they can be acceptable, then they don't have much self-worth.
Exactly. So we were right on here. This is what Dr. Phil was alluding to when he kept asking, why do you need a G-Wagon? He knew that she had a very negative and weak perception of herself, which I agree with completely.
Well, my mom made me feel that way.
Yeah, I've said that overindulgence is a form of child abuse. It does cripple a child. You see, A child forms their self-image, their self-worth by making attributions to themselves. We watch ourselves in situations and say, wow, I did that. I overcame that. I accomplished that. I did that. I learned about myself that way. So I have confidence that I can do these things. She's saying, you screwed up. You parented me that way.
Yes, I totally agree. I don't see Nicolette here as the problem. I'm looking at mom, and Nicolette in some ways correctly blames mom. Mom is hugely responsible for creating Nicolette's self-image. But to add to what Dr. Phil is saying, our self-image is not only created by our actions and what we learn from what we learn about ourselves through our actions. Our self-image is also shaped by what happens to us and by the messages we are given growing up. So she has a very extreme negative view of herself to the point that she's on TV because of it. So my question is, what were the extreme negative messages that she received growing up? Sure, what Dr. Phil is saying is 100% correct. She lacks those personal experiences of conquering, persevering, building up her ability to tolerate pain, the ability to delay gratification, and everything in between. But what did she experience, or what was she told in life? I think the next clip may give us a huge clue.
But it's not over.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Yes.
I guarantee
sure.
it's not over. Reparenting. So many parents have to have the opportunity to reparent their child. So you guys need to redefine your relationship.
How do we do that?
You give her more love and less money. And
I feel like it's too late for that.
yeah,
I don't want love anymore.
And that is a crazy statement. I don't want love anymore. But do you know what that means? There was a point in time where she did want love. And that means that she was deprived of love. So here is the big fat question that has been in my head this whole time. Where's dad? So here's my theory, guys. Dad's gone, and mom worked extremely hard to provide for her. Mom felt guilty that she didn't have a dad, and coupled that with a lack of understanding, and she just tried to make her daughter happy with material things, but she unwittingly starved her of love and affection, and thus sending her the very powerful message that she's worthless. And friends, that message goes against what is natural to us as human beings. So Nicolette, she did what she could. She tried to find worth in things. She tried to feel good by having more than the next person, or she tried to gain social capital by buying her way into it. So for me, that is the crucial piece. I agree with more love and less money. And she needs to fill that hole and change the way that she views herself. And it's no small task. But that is the business that I am in, and I see it all the time. And I have confidence that Nicolette can do it. And if you have been sent negative messages, I believe that you can change your own self-image so that you can believe in your own worth and rise up, and you can do anything you want to do. And then maybe you won't be such a spoiled brat. If you have anything you want me to react to, please leave it in the comments down there. Thanks for watching, you awesome, amazing person. See you next time.